Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the channel where we talk about childhood memories and specifically my childhood memories. All right, but the first thing I like to do, I want to talk about why I made this channel because I think that is very important. Okay, so let's go back a little. So I was born in the early 60s back in Jamaica, and that's where I spent most of my childhood years. Now I moved to Canada in the early 90s. At that point, my son was about, he was close to 3 years old. He was born back in Jamaica. My younger son was, well, obviously he wasn't born yet. But, as they grew up, they have been asked, so they have had the opportunity to visit Jamaica maybe once, twice, maybe 3 times, but they have not had a chance to actually spend, an extended time there to understand the culture, Jamaican culture in general. Right? But most importantly, they said to me one day, at least one of them said to me, Dad, we don't know much about you. We don't know much about your background. We hardly know anything about you. When I thought about it, they were actually right. Because, even though my wife and I, we talk about our cultural background and our upbringing and, the kind of life we had as kids growing up back in Jamaica. We never delve into the details in terms of, the nitty-gritty, We never get down and dirty, so to speak, talking about the fine details about what life was like growing up as kids back in Jamaica. My wife, she also grew up in just like I did, she grew up in a rural area of Jamaica. I'm from Manchester, she's from Clarendon. So when I thought about what the guy said to me, I came up with this idea. I'm going to make some videos. I have cameras around the house because, I use cameras for photography, video, and all of that. So I have access to recording equipment. So I thought I would make some long form videos talking about life as it was growing up in the 60s into the early 70s and somewhat a little in the 80s, in Jamaica. But when I thought about it more and more, and I thought about the attention span that kids have these days in terms of watching, a 1 hour or a 2 hour video, I said, maybe this is not a good idea. So what I thought instead, why not make videos, short 15-20 minute videos, and these are short enough that anyone can, sit for a few minutes and watch one. But further, I said, maybe it's a good idea that I create a YouTube channel so that I can share these short snippets of my childhood years and invite people to kind of, add their 2 cents, to comment. Because I'm sure some of the life experiences that I had, I was not unique in many of those situations, right? So hence this channel. So the channel is called Memory Lane. And essentially what I do, I sit and in front of the camera and I talk about my childhood memories, and I invite you, the viewer, to kind of, share, chime in, so to speak, from wherever you're watching over the world, whether it be in, you're in the Caribbean, whether you're in North America here, whether you're in Europe and Africa or Asia, wherever you are, you know, on this earth. That's the power of the internet. So this is where I talk about my childhood memories as a kid growing up. You know, the challenges, the good times, the bad times. You know, nothing is left unturned. I get right down to the nitty-gritty, right? I get down and dirty, right? You know, some of the stuff that I'll be talking about might actually make you cringe. But, you know, I'm just trying to make it real. You understand? I'm not going to whitewash anything. I mean, I'm going to keep it clean, of course, right? But I'm not going to water it down because, you know, I'm worried that I might, you know, offend someone. This is my life. I'm talking about my life here, right? So this is the reason for the channel. Like I said again, the name of the channel is called Memory Lane, and this is where, you know, we talk about childhood memories as they were, and for me, growing up in the 60s and 70s and part of the early 80s back in Jamaica. So welcome again. You know, we have a lot to talk about. Okay, a whole lot to talk about. So if you're happening on this channel for the first time, stay tuned.